Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Solomon Vision Oracle. Let's get straight to it. It says, guard your lessons learned and keep them in the front of your mind. Are there some lessons that you've been learning lately? It's time to keep them in the front of your mind as you prepare for the things that are coming. I need you to accept that isolation is a part of the simulation. To be expanded, new knowledge must be retained. As you're learning your lessons, it is so important to pay attention to all the things that are being brought to the forefront. All the things that have the power to mentally shift you into good and bad must be evaluated. This is what isolation is for. In isolation, you have the ability to learn and to grow. Don't just sit there and scroll. Don't just sit there and stare at the TV. Don't just sit there and stare at the phone or the wall. It's time to use your mind and to use your time wisely as you are being expanded at this time. New knowledge is being brought to you. Pay attention. Learn it. Take it seriously. If you've had regrets about things not going the way that you expected them to be, learn to understand that this life has no space for regrets. This life is about learning your lessons and guarding them close so that you don't keep messing up. Honor the opportunity for failure, as it is also an opportunity for growth. Is there something secretive that you've been dealing with? Is there someone who's secretive that you've been dealing with? It's time to be frank and straightforward. Are there things that have been done in the privacy or in private that are now being made public? Or are there things that you've been participating in your private life that you need to make public of? Never be afraid to teach someone a lesson that you learned or to show someone the way, because we're all learning lessons and it is so important to help one another. It looks like justice is upon you. If there had been an injustice, there is now justice with your name on it. Healthy opportunities are before you. Healthy opportunities of wealth and abundance are before you. Now, a way that you can tell if something is healthy is that there's not going to be strings attached to it. Everything about this opportunity will be scaled out before you. All the details will be before you. There won't be anything sneaky. There won't be anything secretive. It'll be healthy because all the details will be laid out, invisible, with no hidden or tiny, words that bring side effects. And that's how you know if something is healthy or not. These are the types of lessons that we're learning at this time. And it is so important to guard the lesson as it comes in and take it seriously for when you are approached with more situations that are similar to that. It says every storm runs out of rain eventually. Know that the storm doesn't last long, but if you have an umbrella, it will always give you shelter. It says you can't run from the shadow, but you can invite it to dance. So as you do your shadow work, meaning your internal work to better understand yourself, it's important to take that shadow with you, all the good and the bad and the things about yourself that have been in the shadows. It's important to invite them to dance with you because they are a part of you. And doesn't your shadow dance with you? Your shadow side is a part of you. And as long as you keep it balanced and as long as you are made aware of how your shadow side reacts and operates within you, then you are able to dance with that side. You're able to embrace it and to understand why and what makes you tick. Okay? You might be pondering a few things, just wondering for yourself some things right now. To yearn or not to yearn. Now, as we yearn for things, this can be for material things. Sometimes we yearn for relationships. Sometimes we yearn for companionship. Sometimes we yearn to be accepted and to be seen. Sometimes we yearn for a turnaround, a breakthrough. Are you contemplating for yourself right now to yearn or not to yearn? Just know that as you yearn for any of those things that I just mentioned, it's so important to be gentle with yourself, be compassionate with yourself. Because if you're yearning too much, that puts you to an unbalanced state, which can also make you overly emotional. And when we're overly emotional, sometimes we make decisions that are not always the best for us. To yearn or not to yearn. You might be wondering to vocalize something or not to vocalize something, or to unite or maybe not to unite. If you feel as though maybe you had regrets in vocalizing yourself in the past and uniting with certain energies, it's time to truly guard your lessons learned with those individuals and to make the proper decision that you know makes sense. Let's see what the Charisma of the Visionary deck says here. It says, research traditions of your ancestors. We all have a different and unique ancestry. May I encourage you to get familiar with your own ancestors and to figure out where you come from to help you better understand, once again, what makes you tick and what makes you who you are. Don't be afraid to ask your loved ones questions about your family, and don't be afraid to maybe do research if you know that you hold different ethnicities within you. Start doing the research to figure out how your ancestors lived and how they thought and what they did, and start to embrace those traditions as they are a part of you too, because your DNA holds so much information that the information that was given to your ancestors is within you as well. So I encourage you to research traditions of your ancestors. Also, Nature's Cure here. I have some different cards here, but this one's ashwagandha. So ashwagandha is one of my favorite herbs to take because it helps with keeping your mental state balanced. It helps with relieving stress. It helps with, just getting through your day. So if you're thinking of trying a new vitamin, or if you're thinking of looking for something to calm your nerves naturally, I definitely recommend ashwagandha. It's an ancient herb that's been used in Ayurvedic practices, and it's also been used to encourage healthy eating and healthy living. If you're looking for something new, definitely try the ashwagandha. Give it some research for yourself. And then it says places to visit. You might want to go to a spa. And if you can't get to a spa, just take you a long bubble bath. Okay? I'm Charisma, taking you guys on the Solomon Vision.